Hey everybody, how's it going? We're back at the Monguli Movie Show. We're going to take a look at the Fantastic Four trailer. This is my first time watching it. There was that like 8-second trailer from yesterday. We didn't bother making a video about that, but this one I'm really excited for. The Fantastic Four has been left out of pretty much everything Marvel for like decades at this point. Lots of the games don't have them in them. Lots of the miniature games don't have them in them. Movies didn't have them in them. They were pretty much ignored for a long time. They had a couple of bad movies back in the early 2000s, that train wreck in like 2015 or whatever it was. Let's hope this one can get it right and get back to Marvel's first family. Let's dive into it. All right, now the only thing we really know about this is supposed to take place in like the 60s or something.
We make a point to do family dinner every week. Sunday at 7 on the dot, no matter what. We're all here.
Love Pedro Pascal.
Herbie, how's that sauce?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll be the judge of that. Okay.
Yeah, he looks all right.
Good or what? I want to add a couple cloves of garlic. Not because it's not delicious. I just want to add a little bit of zip. Okay?
Okay, July, very soon.
Before we went up the first time, you couldn't turn invisible. Ben was
So not an origin. Love that.
in the world right here.
Yeah. Best looking, he means.
And Johnny never caught fire.
Ben has always been a rock. Johnny is Johnny.
Hi.
Got a very interesting look to it.
Right here. Whatever life throws at us, we'll face it together.
That is weird, but okay.
As a family.
Okay, I'd heard Galactus was going to be in this. I fucking love Galactus. That's cool. I'm glad that he, like, at very least has the helmet right. Let's take another look at that. All right, so we open up on this scene, which looks far more like something out of the World's Fair than something out of actual history. So I don't know if this is supposed to be our 1960s, obviously MCU's 1960s, or if this is supposed to be an alternate dimension of some kind. Either way, it's got that kind of like retro futuristic look to it, which I kind of like. Now here we're presented with a very wholesome Pedro Pascal as he's portraying Reed Richards. You've also got Vanessa Kirby there as Sue Storm. They're talking about how they have dinner every single week, no matter what, at 7 o'clock on Sundays, which seems like a who cares moment, but it's just kind of showing you the moral values that this couple has. Now, if they do end up getting shot into the future or the present with the MCU, it'll be very interesting to see what this version of Reed Richards has to say to somebody like a Doctor Strange or somebody's much more modern sensibilities. Could be very interesting to see them kind of mixed together, especially if they bring in like the X-Men and stuff like that, and you got him dealing with like a Wolverine. Could be fun. I love that they're going all in on like the retro look of it. Like even the Marvel Studios has an old-timey look. Now, the problem with the Fantastic Four movies is they've got the unenviable task of always trying to do... You have to make Ben Grimm the rock monster. You just have to. Like, he has to be the thing. But also, what does that look like? Like, it looks so alien that it's hard to do it in a way that's like, oh yeah, no, that looks good, right? Like, even when you're looking at something like, say, Jurassic Park, we don't really know what dinosaurs look like, but our brain can at least understand what lizards and animals look like. But like a person made entirely out of rock, it looks great in a comic book, but it always looks weird in a movie. Now, I think this looks fine. Hopefully after an hour and a half of the movie, my brain will just allow it and it will accept it. But like, it's weird. It's not bad. It's just weird. Also, he's wearing the full costume. I kind of like him more when he's like mostly rock and just kind of in shorts. Maybe that says more about me. All right, they say before we went up the first time. So clearly this is not an origin story. They're already well established. They've got their costumes. They've got their powers. They've got a giant building with a 4 on the outside of it. But we are likely to see the story in flashbacks. I hope we do get a sequence of it, kind of tell us where these characters are coming from, but I don't want it to be like a major plot point in the movie. It could be like 30 seconds and we're good. Wow, maybe like 2 minutes and we're good to go. Now we see this scene here. I kind of don't want this to be Galactus. It looks like the cast is just kind of like sitting on the balcony talking to each other and then this happens. Way too big for like a plane explosion or something like that. But I want this to be something else. I want this to be like maybe an early threat, right? Like maybe like opening scene kind of stuff almost. Just like they're all at a party, something happens, they have to snap into action, kind of like that first fight scene in Doctor Strange. I don't want it to be that, but you know, something along those lines. Just an easy threat that they can get through, just get us into the action and then give us a backstory on them and then have Galactus show up and let us deal with that. Also, weird that we're getting Galactus in the first movie, but so be it. I have nothing to say here. It's an interesting looking car. It's that modern futuristic thing. It's not even close to the Batmobile, and yet the closest thing I can think of closest thing I come up with when I look at it is the Batmobile. Obviously, like the 1966 like Adam West Batmobile, which it's clearly not, but like just something about the curves and whatnot kind of make me think of that, which makes sense if this is taking place in the 60s. So they could have easily just given us this, and nerds like myself would have known instantly what we were taking a look at. I understand that a lot of people wouldn't. And we've seen Galactus in the Fantastic movies before. I think Rise of the Silver Surfer had Galactus in it, but it didn't really. It was like a smoke cloud or something. I don't know. It's been a long time. I'm not rewatching those movies anytime soon, but it was like an awful smoke cloud Galactus. I love that we're getting interstellar person Galactus. He's not a person. He doesn't even look like that. It's in the comic books. It's something along the lines of like our brains can't comprehend looking at Galactus. So we see him as a human looking thing because our brains need to make sense of it, right? Like it's essentially you're looking at like a force of nature or like a god. And I know he's a celestial or something, but our brains can't make sense of it. So like when the Kree see him, he looks Kree. When the humans see him, he looks human. And like, again, like this could have been enough. That would have been fine for a teaser. That's enough for me to go, oh my God, I know who that is. But no, we get this image. Now we don't see his face, but this is seriously like, this is so comic accurate. I love this. I have like a 3-foot Galactus statue over there. It's all purple. I'm going to paint it at some point. Ha ha ha. But like when I say I'm a big Galactus fan, like I think Galactus is just the coolest. And as much as I'm like, why are we getting him in the first movie? I'm also like, fuck yes, get him in the first movie. Like he's towering over the Statue of Liberty. I've never seen the Statue of Liberty in person, but it looks big in film. This reminds me of like a Johnny Carson set or something, like they're posing for like a television show. Like all these arrows, it's like, look at us, look at them. I don't know what's going on here. I'm wondering if they've got like brand sponsorships or something. They have to like, they're forced to make appearances places. Who knows? All right, and that's all I've got for you. There's not a whole lot to say on that one, as it's a pretty short trailer and it doesn't really give a ton away. I'm sure there's a video somewhere with like 120 Easter eggs where they're really stretching to find some stuff. But overall, it looks interesting. I'm not going to go quite so far as to say that it looks good, but I like that they're taking a swing. It doesn't look like everything else in the MCU. It does look like its own unique thing, and I think that's really cool. I'd be very okay with the MCU getting away from feeling like everything has to exist in the exact same universe, even though it technically does. But like when you read an X-Men comic book, it doesn't feel like a She-Hulk comic book. It doesn't feel like a Spider-Man comic book, and that's totally okay. And I'd be okay with the movies getting their own identity like that as well. So I like that this one has its own identity. I'm just not entirely sure that I like the identity. We'll see when it comes out. I'm not entirely sure. The other thing I wanted to touch on is on IMDb right now, if you take a look at it, there's a couple of names of actors in this, including John Malkovich and Paul Walter Hauser, who do not have their characters revealed. So we're not sure who they're going to play. We did see John Malkovich in this very briefly, lots of long hair. We don't know who Paul Walter Hauser is. I'm a huge fan of Paul Walter Hauser from the movie Trivia Schmodown, from Cobra Kai, from Richard Jewell. I'm a big fan of his, and I'm very curious to see where his career is going to go. So I love that he's in this. I'm just super curious who he's going to be. I hope he's not just like Herbie or something. Like, I'd rather him be like a face, but we'll have to see what happens there. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, hit subscribe. Greatly appreciated, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.